You know, it's interesting. I didn't have any plans or designs on working in academia or teaching at all, honestly. It was not my path. But I was fortunate enough to have a really phenomenal set of mentors, one of whom was Tony Thompson, who was a professor here, a clinical professor here, and actually this was his old office, in fact. And he'd been a mentor of mine throughout my career. I met him years and years ago when I first was a public defender in the Bronx at the Bronx Defenders. And over the years had really come to trust his judgment and guidance and wisdom about career opportunities, about the types of work or issues I wanted to focus on. And he was a founding faculty director of the center. And I was at the Federal Defenders of New York working as a federal public defender. And Tony reached out and alerted me to the fact that NYU was creating this center, and thought it would be a wonderful opportunity for me to pursue, to really do the type of racial justice work that I had been doing throughout my career, and do it from the ground up in terms of building an institution, almost a small racial justice organization, from the start. And so I thought it was a great opportunity, was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to do that. And while I was here and doing that work at the center, what I found was that a lot of the issues I was concerned about, I eventually wanted to write some scholarship on some of those issues, in particular looking at the intersection of race and technology. And so Tony encouraged me to do that. But alongside that, also encouraged me to pursue a position on the faculty here. And he encouraged me to do that alongside his partner, Kim Taylor-Thompson, Randy Hertz, another faculty member here, Deborah Archer, another faculty member here. All these folks were really supportive and encouraging of that process, among many others, of course. Part of, I think, the reason why they encouraged me to do that was because I was co-teaching. So Tony and Kim co-taught the Criminal Defense and Reentry Clinic together. They co-taught that clinic for years and years together. When I came to NYU to run the center, because of my prior experience as a public defender and because I had some interest in clinical teaching from prior experiences outside that, I got a chance to co-teach the clinic with Tony and Kim. And so I did that for a couple of years. They went on sabbatical for 1 year. I taught the clinic by myself as an adjunct. And then taught another class on race and inequality in the criminal legal system as an adjunct, all while still executive director of the center. And they really pushed me and thought this would be a great career for me and a great way for me to remain engaged in the work that I'm really interested in, but also interact with what I think is the best part of the job, working with students, and working with students who are really ready to kind of tackle these challenges out in the world. And so they pushed and pushed and encouraged me, and I was fortunate enough to be voted onto the faculty.